All right, we are starting geometry. So we're going to start with area. You should have your formula sheet in front of you, and let's just go ahead and get started. So the area of basic shapes. First of all, you need to know that the area is the amount of surface that a figure covers. Go ahead and write that down. Area is the amount of surface a figure covers. Okay? You need to know too that anytime that you are using area, your answer is always going to be in square units. It's going to be in square units, so centimeters squared. Okay, that's what that little number there means. And the reason why is because we're looking at two dimensions. We're looking at length and width. Okay. All right, so let's start off with rectangles. You should be pretty easy with rectangles. So rectangles right next to it, I want you to write length times width. Length times width. And then this is just the shortcut, length times width, okay? All right, so this should be really pretty easy. So let's go ahead and do these two examples here. So you may use calculators for this whole unit here, but you still have to show me what you're doing, okay? So for like number one, that was pretty easy. But anyways, it's 5 times 5. So it's 25 square inches. Even though we write it inches squared, we say square inches, okay? All right, you do 2 and 3, and then come back when you have your answers. All right, check over those answers. Remember, your answers should have your units with them, okay? All right, and I want to see what you're doing there. All right, let's move on to parallelograms here. Parallelograms. So a parallelogram, the formula is base times height. So I want you to write that base times height, okay? Which is just BH there, B times H, all right? So it's base times height. So if you'll notice, a parallelogram is very similar to a rectangle. It's just more slanted. So if you kind of look at this, look at my, so see, it's just still a rectangle. So that's why, seriously, we're still kind of doing the length times width. But the reason we're looking at base and height now is because the height is not going to be one of these slanted areas. That's never going to be your height. The height is always going to be shown somewhere in the middle. A lot of times with a dotted line right here, they will show you the height of the parallelogram. Okay, so it's just going to be your base times your height. Base times your height. All right, so let's look at an example. So again, number one here, you're going to write 13 times 7 because that is your height. Okay, so that is 70, 91 inches, inches squared. Okay, you do 2 and 3 and come back with your answers. All right, go ahead and check your answers there. Okay, all right, let's move on. All right, so let's look at this one. We're going to take just a break from your notes. So if I look at this one right here, I know that this is a rectangle, right? So in order to find the area of the rectangle, I'm just going to go length times width, right? So I'm going to multiply 18 by 6. So 18 times 8. Sorry, 18 times 8. So 18 times 8 is 144, right? And that would be feet squared. So my question to you, if by chance I didn't want that whole square, that whole rectangle there. I just wanted this part of it. Well, isn't that just half of it? So if I just wanted that part, wouldn't I just divide it by 2? So if I divided that by 2, wouldn't I get that this is 72? So this part is 72, and this part, and this part is 72, correct? So if I look at that, what shape does this make? Doesn't that make a triangle? So can you try to figure out what the area of the formula for a triangle would be? What did I just do there? Because I actually found the area of that triangle. Didn't I go length times width and I divided it by 2? So that's what my triangle is, guys. So if you look at it, because two triangles makes up a parallelogram or a rectangle there, we're going to actually come down here. The formula for a triangle is, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways because a lot of people will write it like this. It is 1/2 the base times the height. It is 1/2 the base times the height. Okay? But I think it's easier for you guys to understand base times height, and then whatever you get, you divide it by 2. Okay? It's going to come up the same thing because remember, when you take a half of something, you're just dividing it by 2. Okay, so for the formula for the triangle, I want you to either write this one. Actually, why don't you just go ahead and write both of them so you're familiar with both ways that they look. Write both of those formulas in the triangle section, and we're going to talk about triangles. Okay? All right, so I want you to know the only hard part here is obviously this is going to be my base. This is my base. The hard part now is looking at your height, okay? A lot of times, again, like the parallelogram, it's going to show you with a dotted line, okay? Or you can look over here. It is going to be the height of the triangle. That's easier to see the height of the triangle. It is always going to be perpendicular from the base of my triangle, okay? Perpendicular means like this, okay? This is parallel, but this is perpendicular, okay? Perpendicular forms a right angle, okay? So those are my two formulas. I think this is going to be the easiest one for you to use, base times height, and then divide by 2. So let's do a couple of examples, okay? So let's look at this first one, okay, what you have. All right, so we're getting into decimals here, but don't worry about it. Still, it's base times height, so I'm going to write that 8.75 times 4.5, and then I'm going to divide by 2. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, again, I'm going to get my calculator just like you will. 8.75 times 4.5, make sure you hit equals, and then divide by 2. Okay, so I get 19.6875. So unless I ask you to round it, just write it out. Okay, and that's again going to be inches squared. Okay, all right, you try those two, pause the video, and come back when you have your answers. All right, check those answers. Again, I am looking for not just the answers, but I want to see you writing out what you're doing. Okay. Okay. All right, so triangle might be new to you. The next one is for sure going to be new to you. The area of a trapezoid. The area of a trapezoid. All right, before we even get the area out, we need to go over some vocabulary words. First of all, a trapezoid is one of those weird ones, weird quadrilateral. All the other quadrilaterals, which is a four-sided shape, are all parallelograms. So a parallelogram, a rhombus, a square, and a rectangle are all parallelograms, which means they have a pair of parallel lines. Okay, these are parallel lines. So a square and a, that looks bad, a square, a rectangle.
Pardon the interruption.
All
Pardon?
right, I was being called to the office there. All right, so a square, a rectangle, a parallelogram, and a rhombus, which I'm going to try to draw here. It's like a diamond. Okay, kind of sad there. But those are all parallelograms because they have a pair of parallel lines. This line is parallel to this one. This one is parallel to this one. Parallel lines mean they never touch, okay? So all of these are quadrilaterals, but they're also parallelograms because they have a pair of parallel lines. All right, my trapezoid is different. It is still a quadrilateral, but it is not a parallelogram. It only has one set of parallel lines. This and this line, these two lines are parallel, but these and these are not because at some point those would hit, those would cross. So those are not parallel lines, okay? So you need to know that my bases are my parallel lines, okay? And again, like everything else, they're pretty much going to show you that height as a dotted line in between there, okay? So you have to know the bases. So this is a tricky one. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to show you what is written, what you'll kind of see in textbooks and things like that. So go ahead and write this down. It says 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times my height. Write that down, but then really, here's what I do, okay? So it's my base 1 plus my base 2. Then you are going to multiply whatever answer you get times the height, and then you divide the whole answer by 2. Okay? So it's base 1 plus base 2, then multiply it by your height, then whatever answer you have, divide the whole thing by 2. All right. Seems like a lot, but as long as you just plug in the formula, it's not that difficult. Okay, so pause the video and make sure you write both of them, but then maybe put a star by this one. This is probably the one you'll use most often. All right, so let's do some examples. All right, so I'm going to write the first one down exactly like it says. I'm going to plug in the formula. So here's my formula, and I'm plugging it in. My base 1 plus my base 2. Base 1 plus base 2. So 5 plus 9 times my height, here's 8, divided by 2. Okay, so I'm going to follow the same order. 5 plus 9 is 14 times 8. So 14 times 8 is 112. And then I have to divide the whole thing by 2. Divided by 2. And that equals 56 square centimeters. If you have the formula, it's not difficult. You're just plugging it in. You're plugging in exactly each one. Okay? All right, pause the video and do these two problems. Make sure you're writing out exactly, just like this. I want to see it. Okay? Come back when you have your answers. All right, check those answers. Again, I definitely want to see this part, okay? If you're using the calculator the rest of the way, that's fine, but I want to see this, okay? All right. So remember, when you are looking at area, first you want to figure out what formula you use, so you need to know what shape it is. Then just plug in your numbers and then find your answer, okay? All right, on the back of your paper, turn your formula sheet over, and I want you to do these 6 problems. I'm going to be looking for your answers tomorrow, okay? All right, have a great day, guys.